How's it going, guys? Grimsie42 here, and welcome back. This is part 3 of my 5-part epic road trip that I took to the Midwest Gaming Classic in Wisconsin, and this is going to be the last of the 3 parts of the stuff that I got on the way to the convention. This is stuff that I picked up before I actually got to the convention, and I pulled out all the stops on this one. This is all from one specific stop. It was a store that I had very low expectations of, and before I knew it, I'll show you, it's crazy. So, a little quick backstory. This store, which I believe was in Toledo, Ohio, and I will link the information below to this store. Highly, highly recommended that you guys check it out. And I think, yeah, the store was called Video Game Underground, and as I said, it was in Toledo, Ohio. So I will put all the information below. Definitely check it out. Owner is super cool, and he definitely did not disappoint. So first thing that I got here, actually I guess I should explain a little bit. Basically, my buddy and I were in there looking around, and we found a few things that caught our eye, nothing too special, and he goes to tell me, because I noticed there was kind of a side shelf. I'm always looking where I'm not supposed to look, trying to find those games that have yet to be priced, hoping to get a better deal. And he told me that in that state, that the law states that when you purchase a game, there's a specific waiting period before you can sell it, kind of like pawn shops do, just because the items may be stolen. And that because of that, he had a whole bunch of games in the back that he'd just yet to pull out. Even though the date had already passed, he just hadn't gotten the chance to price them. He just recently picked up a big lot. So I'm going to show you guys what I grabbed from that lot. But before I do, there's a couple games to get out of the way that were just already on the sales floor. The first one was a complete-in-box Atlas title, which I know nothing about other than that it was cheap, complete, and from Atlas. Battle B Damon, I believe it's pronounced. But definitely like these complete-in-box Game Boy Advance games. They definitely are hard to find, and this one was in really, really nice shape. This next one here is not a very expensive game, but it was super clean, and I believe it's a shmup of sorts, and it looks pretty interesting, and it's Subterranea, and this one is complete and in very, very good shape. This next one I had wanted to pick up for a while from my buddy Johnny Lake. Unfortunately, other people beat me to it, and luckily enough I was able to find one here at this store, and it is a complete copy of Sunset Riders. And this one is a bit different, for those who don't know, than the Super Nintendo games. So if you ever get a chance to check out both and tell the differences, one difference right away is this one only has 2 playable characters. So definitely some differences in there, I think based on the limitations of the Sega, but don't quote me on that. This next one here I've heard a ton of good stuff about, and it's definitely a really, really good game. I'm told the one on the Saturn is even better. Definitely let me know below if you've played either and if you have a preference. This one here is, as I almost drop it, Beyond Oasis, and it's one of those late release cardboard Genesis games, but it does have the manual there and then the cartridge behind it, so definitely happy to get this one out of the way. Now we get into the goodies. So basically, like I said, he told me about these games and he starts bringing them out, and the first thing I noticed is he was bringing out stacks of Super Nintendo games. And he said it was a situation where he said there were these 2 older ladies that collected games or purchased games as younger adults, and they kept everything, and they brought them all into his store because they needed some money. He said it was so much stuff that it took him 5 separate purchases to get everything. So definitely a ton of stuff here, and I did miss some of it. Some of it was already gone, but you know what? I'm totally happy with what I got, and the main reason is the condition. And I will just show you with the first game. Unfortunately, it's got a little bit of wrap on it, so I will break the heart of everyone in the world and remove this shrink wrap. But before I do, be warned that this is not factory sealing shrink wrap. He does reseal his complete games so that he can put his business card in them. But just to give you an idea, the first one is Cliffhanger, and just check out how clean, can't even really get the glare unfortunately, but check out how clean that is. I mean, it's like there are no dents, dings, scratches, or anything. The rest of these I'm going to leave sealed, but this is just for a visual demonstration of how clean these were. This one here was, I believe, $5. This next one was $10, Konami title, and it's Buster Bust Loose. Next one here is Bugs Bunny Rabbit Rampage, and it's funny to see the 12 meg advertisement there because like our phones are like 1,000 times more powerful at this point, or even more. But definitely interesting to see that. This next one here was I think $10, and it is Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure. The next one, and I'm going to very carefully take this out of the outer protector I have it in. This is the cleanest Super Nintendo game that I own. I already previously owned this, but at the price and in the condition, I absolutely had to upgrade my copy, even though I would have gave my copy like an 8.5 out of 10. I kid you not, I give this a 10 out of 10. I don't say that. I don't like the term mint. I despise the term minty. So sorry to all those people who use it. It's kind of stupid. But this is super, super clean and definitely one of my favorite games, as you can tell from my logo. But without further ado, check out this Demon's Crest. And I mean, look at that. There is not a single scratch, a single smudge, a single bend, nothing. The label and the manual look like they have never been touched. And my buddy was looking for a copy of this, so I gave him a really good price. I paid it forward on my copy, so he now has his complete copy, and I have as clean as you can possibly get. Like, this literally looks like it was just opened yesterday, and carefully at that. So, definitely exciting. But I'm not done. This next one, for the Sega Genesis, he didn't have priced, and when I asked him the price and then he told me the price, I just instantly said deal. I didn't even think to haggle. You know, sometimes you hear a price and you just hear it and you're like, yes, that's beyond fair. There's no need to penny pinch. And it is a near mint copy of Phantasy Star 4, also shrink wrapped. Like I said, he shrink wraps all his games, but just in phenomenal condition. And as you guys know, this one is more to the $80, $100 range, and he wanted $30 for it. So yes, I could have penny pinched, but no, I was not going to in this case. Very, very fair price. Now I'm going to show you the good stuff, if that wasn't good enough. The first item is something I've had my eyes on, but did not want to pay a lot, and I believe he only wanted 10 for this, and I think it actually goes a lot more than that, like 30 to 50 if I'm not mistaken. And I remember this actually just being a giveaway in magazines. And it is a not-for-resale sampler of Christmas Nights into Dreams. It comes in this little slip cover here, and then, as you can see, the disc is in there and like in perfect condition. So, definitely willing to pay $10 for this, and yes, I just started a trend, Sega Saturn. The rest of this is going to be nothing but Sega Saturn and nothing but Sega Saturn goodies. However, there was a bit of a catch. Unfortunately, the ladies who sold their stuff, they separated the actual discs and just kind of put them in like one of those burned CD little towers, if you remember those. And then they put the manuals and the artwork aside, but they didn't save the jewel cases. So because of that, I was actually able to get a much better price on these, on top of his already great prices. But basically, some of these cases are going to look roughed up, and the reason for that is while I was at the Midwest Gaming Classic, I picked up all the cheap sports games I could, just so that I could put games of this caliber into cases. I didn't want them just floating around. He gave me Blu-ray cases in the intermediary between there, but I definitely had to get these cased. So again, if you see stickers, labels, cracks, or scratches, these are just cases for now. I will upgrade in the future when I find better ones, but anyways, just to jump right in, there's 6 games here, 3 that are quality and 3 that are pretty big quality. The first one here is Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, and anyone who knows the Saturn knows that they did Capcom right. The 2D power of that system was unparalleled. It destroyed the PlayStation, and Nintendo 64 was not even in the conversation. But this is a game that really doesn't showcase that too much, but still nice to get a Capcom Saturn title out of the way. This next one here, as if ironic or not, I mentioned the Legend of Oasis, and there it is. And this is a really good kind of, I don't want to say a Zelda clone, but it does resemble Zelda in its own rights. and definitely something I'm super, super happy to add to the collection. It's about a $50 game, and definitely worth every penny. If you see it at a good price, definitely pick it up. This next one here is actually purchased just because I needed a disc upgrade. The disc that I had I was not happy with, so I picked this up knowing that I could upgrade my disc and then sell the extra copy and probably break even, because I only paid, I believe, $20 before bundle discount for this one. And it is a copy of Dark Savior. And if you can see here, and I really do believe so, this lady here really resembles Miley Cyrus after she got her stupid haircut. So see if you can Google a picture of her if you're curious and compare it. You'll definitely see the resemblance, I think. I really do think she looks like Miley Cyrus. Could just be me, but I'm a weird dude, so. Alright, this next one here is something I was definitely interested in getting. Again, about a $50, $60 game. Nothing too crazy. Unlike the next two. But something I had my eyes out for. It's unique in the series, too, because it uses digitized graphics. And it is a copy of Shinobi Legions. And really interesting looking game. Definitely excited to check this one out. And it actually has on the back, sometimes kids just don't turn out the way you want them to. Yeah, I don't think my parents envisioned me as a video game dork, but it is what it is, right? Anyways, this next one here I've wanted for a very long time. I'm super pleased that I finally added it to the collection, and it is in immaculate condition, and it is a mint copy of Megaman X4. And definitely happy to get this one out of the way. I really enjoyed this on the PlayStation 1, and again, as I mentioned, the Saturn was known for their superior 2D power, so I'm definitely excited to see if this is any better than the PlayStation version. Alright guys, last and absolutely not least, this is a very sought after Saturn game, and definitely one of my favorite games in my Saturn collection. I had first played this at the MagFest from 2 years ago, I believe. The RetroWare panel actually had a 10-player setup, if you will. I'm pretty sure it was a RetroWare panel. Don't quote me on that. It might have been Pat the NES Punk by himself, but I do remember it was something to do with RetroWare at the time, and I am so beyond happy to say that I now own Saturn Bomberman. Forgive me there, I had a little derp moment. But anyways, definitely a super fun game, and like I said, as far as I know, this is the only Bomberman that actually has a 10-player capability. You need 2 multi-taps to do it. It even has a styrofoam, but it is in absolutely flawless condition, and I cannot believe that I got this at the price I did. I believe before bundle he only wanted $50 for it, and this game goes upwards of $150, so beyond happy to have this in the collection. I could not be happier, and I hope I did not impress with this video. That will wrap this one up. This is the end of part 3. Next week I'm going to have parts 4 and 5, and those are going to be the things that I picked up at the actual show. And I kid you not, guys, I got some pretty amazing stuff. Some stuff that I definitely cannot wait to show you. Like I said, at the beginning and end of next week I'll have those. So stay tuned for them. Thanks for watching until the end, and until next time, guys, take care.